All right. Well, again, I want to welcome everybody here to the Remake Center this morning. Let's go ahead and begin by getting settled in our space, present where we're at. To do that, we're just going to take a couple breaths, holding it in just for a moment. And then as you release the breath, let go of any tension that you might be holding in your body and in your mind. We'll begin with our refuge vows. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I go for refuge until enlightenment is reached. May my generosity and accumulations of merit bring benefit to all beings, and may all beings actualize perfect Buddhahood. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I go for refuge until enlightenment is reached. May my generosity and accumulations of merit bring benefit to all beings, and may all beings actualize perfect Buddhahood. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I go for refuge until enlightenment is reached. May my generosity and accumulations of merit bring benefit to all beings, and may all beings actualize perfect Buddhahood. For immeasurables, may all beings be endowed with happiness. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings never be separated by happiness. And may all beings abide in equanimity, undisturbed by the eight worldly concerns. May all beings be endowed with happiness. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings never be separated from happiness. And may all beings abide in equanimity, undisturbed by the eight worldly concerns. May all beings be endowed with happiness. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings never be separated from happiness. And may all beings abide in equanimity, undisturbed by the eight worldly concerns. As long as space endures, and for as long as living beings remain, until then may we too abide to dispel the misery of the world. So let's begin by finding a comfortable posture, sitting upright yet relaxed, the body balanced, the hands resting gently in your lap. Feel the weight of your body supported by the cushion or chair, and sense the steadiness beneath you, the quiet strength of the earth holding you. And allow your breath to move naturally. There's no need to control it. Just simply notice it, the gentle rise and fall. A reminder that you're already being breathed by life itself. With each exhalation, let the body soften, the jaw unclenches, the shoulders release, the belly relaxes. And just rest the mind in the simple awareness, breathing in, aware of the body, breathing out, releasing any tension. Now imagine your mind as a pond after a rain. At first, the surface may be stirred, ripples of thought, emotion, memory. And rather trying to still the ripples, just simply watch them move. and just let the water of your mind be settled by itself. And notice how when you stop stirring the pond, clarity begins to appear naturally. There's nothing you need to fix, just resting, allowing, noticing. And now picture the soft glow of moonlight above the pond, a gentle silver light reflected on its surface. Even if the water's clouded, the moon's reflection's still there, soft, luminous, whole. And let this image be a mirror for your own mind. Beneath all the thoughts, beneath the emotions, there's a quiet radiance, an awareness that knows. You don't have to create this awareness, it's already here, shining through each breath, through each sound, each sensation. Now bring attention to the knowing itself, not the thoughts that come and go, but the awareness that notices them. This awareness has no edges, no color, no form. It's open, spacious, awake. And even if thoughts arise, allow them to be just like the clouds drifting through the open sky. They never stain the sky itself. Feel this presence, still, luminous, effortless. And then just continue this meditation, abiding in this awareness, allowing any thoughts, emotions, feelings that arise just to be like the clouds passing through the sky with the sky unbothered. Allowing each breath to reveal this again and each moment to reflect it anew. And now feel the body once again, the weight, the warmth, the breath. Feel the air around you, the quiet presence of the Sangha. And when you're ready, begin to come back into the room, slowly opening your eyes, wiggling your toes, your fingers, but bringing the stillness and clarity of the light of this awareness into the next moments that follow. Supplication to the Buddha. To the Blessed One, the one gone beyond, the fully awakened one, the great physician, the supreme teacher, you came to this earth and through your own efforts you obtained the awakened state, overcoming all suffering and distress. Through your great compassion, you showed us the path to liberation. You taught us the merit of compassion, wisdom, and equanimity. To you, the glorious teacher, I prostrate. Do not commit any non virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Blessed One. Merits of these thoughts, words, and actions, may we dedicate this for the benefit of all sentient beings. And like you, O Blessed One, may we in every state, free from the ocean of suffering, Lord of the Dharma, I prostrate to your omniscient being. Seven limb prayer. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and mentally transformed. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the merits of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until samsara ends and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate the merit created by myself and others to the great enlightenment. Mandal offering. This ground anointed with perfumes, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this is a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of my attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, strangers, my body, wealth, and enjoyments, without any sense of loss, I offer this collection. Please accept it with pleasure and bless me with the freedom from the three poisons. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niyatayami. And again, we'll have you all read along with me on these next. Supplication to Manjushri. Om, homage to Manjushri, deity whose diamond speech cuts off all suffering, whose clear mind is the embodiment of insight wisdom. Manjushri, protector, free from evil and karmic stains. Your form is vast as the sky. Your mind dwells in the one taste of suchness. Lord of wisdom, I prostrate to your omniscient being. Supplication to Maitreya. Om, Lord Maitreya, benevolent one, golden son of the primordial, emperor of the northern paradise. Around you the stars and spheres course and turn. Within the span of your breath, countless worlds rise and fall. Deity of innumerable names, called or uncalled, you are always present. May the pure heaven of Tashita always arise before us. Supplication to Tara. Om Svasti, long eyed mother of the Lord of the triple world, mother who gives birth to all the Buddhas of the three times, performing all their functions by the strength of your compassion, by your knowledge of non duality, by your unwavering power, mother of Maitreya, I pay homage to you. O Lady of great compassion, your smiling face, the delight of beings, your calming eye looks out over the triple world. You spread your seat upon a moon whose essence is the thought of enlightenment. You are adorned with the finest garments and many precious gems. Your gift bestowing right hand grants magical attainment to those who invoke you. Your left hand grasps the lotus flower, symbol of your stainless purity. Your two hands are the unions of means and wisdom. Boundless body of union, I pay homage to you. Homage to Tara, at whose lotus feet the gods and non gods make worship. Homage to Tara, mother of all Buddhas, who heralds freedom from limitation. Dedication of Tara meditation. By the meritorious energy of my meditation of Tara, the beyond samsara goddess, may all the limitless sentient beings be led by the energy of the enlightened ones until their Buddhahood is achieved. Supplication to Paul Lama. Soul Mother, Lady victorious over the three worlds, please pay attention here and now. You overpower the whole apparent world, samsara and nirvana, by heroically guarding the Dharma and Dharma holders with four types of actions flashing like lightning. You openly like a full moon in the midst of a garland of powerful Dharma protectors. Powerful Daikini protector, I prostrate to your omniscient being. Supplication to Chinrizi. You whose white colored body is unstained by faults, whose crown is adorned by a fully enlightened Buddha, who gaze upon migrators with eyes of compassion. To you, Chinrizi, I prostrate, liberating the beings of the six realms. Compelled by negative karma gathered from beginless times, sentient beings through the force of anger are born as hell beings and experience the suffering of heat and cold. May they all be born in your presence, perfect deity. Om Mani Padme Hum. Compelled by negative karma gathered from beginless times, sentient beings through the force of greed are born as hungry ghosts and experience the suffering of hunger and thirst. May they all be born in your perfect realm, the Patala. Om Mani Padme Hum. Compelled by negative karma gathered from beginless times, sentient beings through the force of confusion are born as animals and experience the suffering of dullness and bewilderment. May they all be born in your presence, protector. Om Mani Padme Hum. Compelled by negative karma gathered from beginless times, sentient beings through the force of desire are born as humans and experience the suffering of constant toil and poverty. May they all be born in the supreme pure land of Dewachan. Om Mani Padme Hum. Compelled by negative karma gathered from beginless times, sentient beings through the force of jealousy are born as demigods and experience the suffering of fighting and quarreling. May they all be born in your realm, the Patala. Om Mani Padme Hum. Compelled by your negative karma again from beginless times, sentient beings through the force of pride are born as gods and experience the suffering of change and falling. May they all be born in your realm, the Patala. Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Mani Padme
It's on this next meditation that we do Tonglen practice to alleviate the sufferings of others. There's so much suffering going on in the world. There's a short explanation of how to do Tonglen in your service. Dedication of Chenrezig meditation. By this virtue may I quickly become Chenrezig, and then lead every being without exception to that ground. Vajrasattva mantra. Om Benza Sato Samaya Mano Palaya Benza Sato Tinopa Trida Trido Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Subokayo Mebawa Rakto Mebawa Sarvasati Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Susame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarvatata Gata Benza Mame Munza Binzi Bawa Mahasamaya Sato Hahum Bet Om Benza Sato Samaya Mano Palaya Sato Tino Padrida Trido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Subokayo Mebawa Anorakto Mebawa Sarvasiti Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Susame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarvatata Gata Benzama Me Munza Zibawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahum Pet Om Benza Sato Samaya Mano Palaya Benza Sato Tino Patrida Trido Mebawa Utokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Enorakto Mebawa Sarvasiti Me Prayata Sarva Karma Susame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarvatata Gata Benzama Me Munza Binzi Bawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahum Bed.
Om Vajra Sapa 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 Om Vajra Sapa.
And it's on this final meditation that we do calm abiding or insight practice. All right. I'm delighted that you're here today on this very balmy, I'm just kidding, very cold day. Apologies. The heat decided not to work this morning. So we have little space heaters going, but thankfully most people are wearing jackets or something else. We were selling Tibetan socks, which are insulated, very warm, but I think they were all sold out. So, but again, if this is your first time here, we're so happy to have you here. And if you're looking for a spiritual home, we do hope that you consider the Remay Center as your home, as part of your spiritual journey, whether you're exploring the Dharma or seeking a spiritual home. I want to say thank you to our greeter. Donna did such a great job. She also is part of the Daikini group that brought some wonderful pastries. So there was some the cranberry muffins, handmade blueberry jam. She smashed the blueberries herself. So definitely grab some on your way out. Any donations that we receive for those go towards the Bodhicitta Foundation, which supports untouchable Indian Buddhist women and children in central India. This is available every Sunday morning from 9 until the service starts. So it's a really nice way to kind of show up early, have a nice snack. We also, Jesse's donated some coffee beans from the roastery. So we have some amazing coffee now. So thank you so much. And for you coffee snobs, we have a burr grinder and a pour over if you're really wanting to get snazzy with your coffee. I remember back in the day, Folgers and Maxwell House, but what? All right, all right. I see how everybody feels about that. A couple of events coming up I want to remind everybody about. Well, actually, before I say anything, I also want to invite you all to our gift shop. We have some new items in recently besides the socks. We still have Tibetan calendars for 2026. These have uh, practice days for the Tibetan calendar, as well as each day is focused on different themes. So the entire year is about faith and devotion and Buddhist teachings. But it's really beautiful calendar. They're double sided. And then we also have received in these new Tonkas that you see up here. There's also a smaller one on the wall in the hall. The Tonkas are Buddha, Green Tara, and we also have the four-arm Chinrizi. So if you're interested in buying a Tonka, they're going to be upstairs. I will say in a couple of weeks on the 14th, we're going to do a raffle where for $20, you can get a raffle ticket and win this Tonka that's up here. So if you're got to be got to be present to win. We won't have the raffle tickets until next week, and then we'll have like a little container, and then we'll do the drawing on the 14th. So if you're interested, definitely take a go. Like I said, they're upstairs in the gift shop, but we also have the one for the raffle. Okay, a couple events. What's that? The raffle will benefit the Remay Center, specifically our building campaign. As you know, we're looking at expanding the Remay Center, this back wall, to push it out about 15 feet. We're going to take down this middle wall, remove the kitchen to really open up the house. So we're not quite stacked on top of each other. Today it's nice because it's cold, so we got to share our warmth. But usually we like to have a little bit more space in between us. But it costs a lot of money. So we want to make sure we have enough funds in our coffers. So we're doing the raffle. The Tonka sales also benefit. We're going to have a silent auction on some of the statues that we've accumulated over the years. You'll actually see them all upstairs. I think we're going to do the silent auction through December. So probably ended on the 21st, I think, or something like that. So that way, right before Christmas. And the way the silent auction works is there will be a piece of paper, there'll be a minimum bid, and then you can put your name down for that bid. And then it's, so let's say I put down, my bid, and then Gabi comes in and she'll put a higher bid, so it basically just goes up and up and up. So if there's a statue you've been really eyeballing lately that we've collected, not that one, not the one behind me, but we will have that going, and that also benefits the Remay Center. We've actually had construction crew come out and take a look at the grounds, so it's getting time to begin that project. So we would just want to make sure we are in a financial place to be able to do that without too much pain. Okay, so a couple of events coming up. December 6th, which is a Saturday, will be our next half-day Chinrizi retreat. This is open to all levels. It's going to be in person and online, and this retreat's going to focus on the sadhana of compassion, including chanting, meditation, and mantra recitation. These practices, like Chinrizi and Tara practice, transform our body, speech, and mind, replacing old habit patterns with wisdom and seeing and perceiving everything as sacred. Also, want to remind everybody, Sunday, December 7th at 9 a.m., the Daikini group meets again. They were discussing all kinds of different things. They're the reason why we have these wonderful treats in the morning. So if you have an idea about different activities here at the Remay Center, definitely invite you to join the Daikini group. Bring your ideas. If you have questions or want to know more about it, talk with Gabi, or you can email her. And then also on Sunday, December 7th, immediately after the service, immediately 12:30, we're going to explore the Buddhist sutras for our next sutra study Sunday. We're looking at the Sutra of Simha's questions, examining Prince Simha's inquiries to the Buddha on the Bodhisattva conduct. I'm really excited. Daniel has picked one for next year. We're instead of doing a small sutra, we're actually going to tackle a larger sutra, the Vimalakirti Sutra, and we're going to take. It's got 12 chapters, so we're going to take each chapter each month. So that way, by the end of 2026, we'll have studied the Vimalamitra or Vimalakirti. Vimalamitra is somebody else, Dzogchen practitioner, but. Anyways, I just want to thank you all for your generosity. Your financial support ensures that the Remay Center is able to carry forward the legacy of Lama Chuck and Mary, having the Remay Center remain a welcoming home for practice and connection, embodying the Buddhist teachings on love, compassion, and wisdom. And together we keep the Dharma alive, building a community rooted in wisdom and joy where all find refuge and belonging. Boy, I just don't know. I can't read today. I think my eyeballs are cold. Probably. All right. Well, one of the reasons why I actually brought this Tonka down was, if you'll look at her, you'll notice she has 3 eyes, right? So there were 2, and then what we call the wisdom eye. And it actually inspired, yidams like this inspired my Dharma talk. First, I want to share a poem with you and explore a theme that is both very simple and profound. How we perceive the world around us. So the poem is called Unfolding Gaze. The first eye sees a world of form and name, a steadfast fortress for the fragile soul. It takes what's given, plays the common game, and trusts the tale that makes the fragments whole. The second eye sees change beyond control. The self, a stream, flows to the waiting sea. All forms release to what they're meant to be. When this is known, the heart escapes its thrall into the third, where knower, known are all, and all is light abiding radiantly. So the Buddhist path is often described as a path of understanding, a path of wisdom. But wisdom doesn't begin with ideas, it begins with seeing. not just seeing with the eyes on our face, but with the eyes of our heart, the eyes of understanding and the eyes of awareness. In Buddhism, we often speak of three complementary modes of seeing. The ordinary eye sees the solid story, the world around us. The insight eye sees the changing flow, how things come and go. And the wisdom eye sees the luminous whole. Each of these perspectives is necessary, and each has its place, and each reveals a part of reality. The journey of awakening is not about throwing away the first two so that we can live in the third. It's about learning to move gracefully among them, knowing which eye to use in which situation. So let's open these one at a time. The ordinary eye is the way we normally perceive the world. It is fast, efficient, and highly conditioned. You hear a sound and immediately car, phone, interruption comes to mind. Someone makes a face and the mind says they're upset or they're happy. A sensation arises and the mind leaps to something's wrong with me. The Buddha explained this beautifully in the Mahupandika Sutta, where he says, what one perceives, one thinks about. What one thinks about, one mentally proliferates. This is an incredibly deep insight. He's saying the moment we perceive something, the mind starts building stories around it. These stories become our thoughts. These thoughts multiply and become the whole of our world. And this is the ordinary eye, quick, reactive, full of projections. And then the Buddha says the world is led by perceptions. Perception, not truth, often determines how we behave. We don't react to reality. We react to the stories we've built around reality, often without knowing it. So we shouldn't think of the ordinary eye as wrong. It's simply incomplete. It gives us enough information to move through the day, but it also limits us. It frames us. It creates identities and reactivity. This is why the Buddhist practice begins not by rejecting ordinary perception, but seeing through it, understanding its limits. The insight eye opens when we begin to look more closely at our actual experience rather than our stories and our experiences. This is a complete eye that observes the arising and passing of sensations, thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. The Buddha expressed this in the line repeated through the Pali Canon: whatever is subject to arising is subject to cessation. This is not meant as a dark statement, it's liberating. Insight practice reveals that every sensation, every feeling, every thought arises due to causes and conditions, changes in every moment, and dissolves without us having to force anything. When we see this clearly, we stop clinging. We stop talking, or we stop taking thoughts so personally. We stop believing emotions will last forever. And we stop assuming that today's sense of self is who we truly are. This liberating truth that all things flow and cease is echoed by the Mahamudra master Tilopa. He says, the mind is like a river, always flowing. Do not cling to anything. With the insight eye, we begin to see the river. We see the flow. We see the movement that has always been happening. As the great meditation master Dakpo Tashi Namgyal reminds us, look at the arising of thoughts. Look at their abiding. Look at their dissolving. In this clear seeing, their nature becomes known. This is a perfect description for the insight eye. Thoughts are not enemies. They are simply events. Emotions are not failures. They are weather patterns. Self-concepts are not truths. They're habits. With the insight eye, we begin to watch our experience with curiosity. What is this? How does it move? Insight softens us. It frees us from reactivity, and it can even dissolve lifelong habit patterns. But insight without warm-heartedness can become dry or detached. So insight must be grounded in compassion. The wisdom eye is the most encompassing mode of seeing. It includes the insight eye's understanding of impermanence, but sees it not just as linear process, but as a dance within a vast open space. The non-dual, empty, and luminous nature of that impermanence, it sees inseparability. Everything arises together in a web of interdependence. Here we do not just see the river, we see the ocean, the openness in which the river flows. The Buddha offered a striking series of images for this level of understanding. Form is like a bubble, feeling is like a water drop, perception is like a mirage, formations are like a plantain tree, consciousness is like a magic trick. These metaphors point to the emptiness of the five aggregates. Not that they don't exist, but they don't exist in the way we assume they do. Forms appear solid but burst like bubbles. Perceptions seem reliable but shimmer like illusions. And thoughts feel substantial but vanish like magic. Longchen Rabjam, one of the great Dzogchen masters, described this with luminous simplicity. In the vast expanse of awareness, everything is already resolved. Let everything be as it is and rest in the natural state. This is the wisdom eye. Resting as awareness in which all forms arise and dissolve, knowing that nothing stands alone, knowing that self and other are, are impenetrable. As Rangdung Dorje, the third Karmapa, wrote in his aspiration prayer of Mahamudra, when the nature of mind is seen, appearances and emptiness are recognized as inseparable. When this eye opens, even for a moment, you see that thoughts are the radiance of awareness, emotions are waves on the ocean. Other people are not outside of your heart, and the world and the mind are reflections of one another. It's not mystical, it's deeply intimate. The wisdom eye doesn't replace the earlier two, it illuminates them. To understand how these three eyes work together, let's begin with a simple analogy, a painter at work. The ordinary eye sees shapes, colors, and lines. Without it, the painter cannot place a brush on the canvas accurately. The insight eye sees the movement, the flow, and impermanence. The painter notices how lights shift, how pigments mix. In life, it helps us to see how emotions, thoughts, and situations arise and fade. And then the wisdom eye feels the unity of the entire scene. The painter senses the harmony. In life, it nurtures compassion, presence, and spaciousness. When the three eyes are working together, life unfolds differently. Take a difficult interaction, maybe with a coworker, a family member, or a stranger. These become workable instead of overwhelming. The ordinary eye sees the facts, what was said, what was done. The insight eye notices the emotions arising in both parties and their transient nature. And the wisdom eye senses the connection beneath the surface. Everyone is acting from conditions and causes, not as isolated antagonists. Maybe we could look at like a strong emotion, anger, fear, anxiety. These become waves rather than an identity. For our ordinary eye, it notices the feeling in the body. The insight eye watches how it rises and falls. And the wisdom eye rests in the awareness in which the wave occurs, realizing it is not who we ultimately are. Again, a stranger or a challenging situation becomes a fellow traveler rather than an obstacle. With our ordinary eye, it observes the external facts. The insight eye recognizes the cause and conditions at play, and the wisdom eye sees the interconnectedness and responds with empathy. Like any skill, though, these three eyes can be out of balance. The ordinary eye alone, it can feel claustrophobic, like being trapped in a small room with a loud, repetitive thoughts. We see the world as solid, fixed, threatening. We cling, we judge, and react habitually. An example, maybe snapping at a colleague for a minor mistake. The feeling it defines them and carrying that judgment throughout the day. Can you all recall a time, maybe this week, when you felt trapped in this solid reactive view? If we look at the insight eye alone, it can become a spiritual loneliness where you see everything passing but feel disconnected from the heart of it. We can see the impermanence of things but fail to connect with them. Compassion is absent. Again, another example is using the knowledge of impermanence to dismiss a friend's grief, saying, this too shall pass, without actually offering comforting presence. Again, do you ever feel like you've used spiritual understanding to create distance instead of connection? Maybe spiritual bypassing instead of addressing the issue that needs to be addressed? And then the wisdom eye alone is kind of impractical spirituality, the bypassing. It can make us gentle but passive, loving in theory but absent in action. We can recognize the unity of all phenomena but neglect the concrete needs of life. Again, another example of this is contemplating interdependence while ignoring a friend's call for help, thinking everything is interconnected so it doesn't matter. Again, have you ever been so focused on a big picture that you neglected a small, kind action? I don't know. Awakening is not about abandoning the world, escaping daily life, or floating in an abstract awareness. It's about seeing the world clearly, compassionately, and spaciously, with all three eyes opening in harmony. When these three eyes are integrated, the ordinary eye grounds us in reality. The insight eye keeps us awake to the flow of experience, and the wisdom eye opens the heart to others and to life itself. The painter analogy reminds us the brush, the paint, the light, and the canvas must all work together. Similarly, the ordinary, insight, and wisdom eyes must work together to create a life of clarity, presence, and compassionate action. So these teachings aren't meant to stay on the cushion or in our shrine room. They are invitations, way of seeing that you can weave directly into the fabric of your daily life. So take a moment this week to explore how each of these eyes might come alive for you. And in the rush of daily life, perception happens fast. Sometimes someone may cut you off in traffic, your partner may say something sharp, you see an unexpected bill, a coworker sends a terse message. The ordinary eye leaps forward with stories. How dare they? They don't respect me. Always happens to me. But what if just once today or this week you pause? Even a half second of stillness is enough. And that pause interrupts that mental proliferation. It softens the automatic reaction long enough for clarity to arise. In that pause, you might notice the tightness in your chest, the heat of irritation, the impulse to lash out, the habit of making everything a catastrophe. That's the insight eye gently opening. A single breath can transform an entire situation. It gives you the freedom to choose how to respond rather than being swept away. So, this week, before responding to anything emotionally charged, just silently say pause. Just like that. Let it slow the momentum, let it create the space. Observe how emotions arise and dissolve, strengthening the insight and this early aspect of our wisdom. Because emotions often feel solid, like discrete things that we have. But when we look closely, we see that they are just waves of sensations moving through the body. And so this week, maybe when an emotion arises, notice where it appears in the body. Notice how it builds, how it changes, and how it dissolves. You don't have to like it. You don't even have to fix it. Just observe it. This transforms I am angry into anger is arising. It shifts I am anxious into anxiety is present. The first is identity, the second is observation. And this gentle shift opens the door to freedom. And when you begin to see what the Buddha meant when he said, whatever is subject to arising is subject to cessation, there is an enormous liberation in recognizing the temporary nature of our inner weather. It allows us to act from wisdom rather from habit. And you don't have to be on a mountain retreat or to touch the wisdom eye. You don't need to perfect stillness or some special state. You just simply need moments of letting things be as they are. And try this during some ordinary activities, while washing your hands, while waiting in line, while sitting at a red light, even listening to someone speak a very long Dharma talk, or while you're drinking some of that great coffee that's in the other room. Just relax your shoulders, soften the jaw, let the mind settle naturally. Sense the simple presence that is always here beneath the noise. Not a trance, not an altered state, just a quiet knowing of awareness itself. And this is the wisdom eye coming into view, seeing without grasping, knowing without adding commentary, resting without withdrawing from life. As Longchenpa said, in the vast expanse of awareness, everything is already resolved. Even a few seconds of this kind of presence can change the texture of your whole day. But ultimately, these three modes of seeing are not just about private insight, they're about preparing the ground for how we live. Compassion is where the three eyes become one. The ordinary eye lets us see the person in front of us. The insight eye lets us understand their suffering as conditioned, not personal. And the wisdom eye lets us recognize that their suffering and ours are intertwined. When we see with all three, we speak more gently, we listen more deeply, we forgive more easily, and we respond more skillfully. Compassion becomes the natural expression of wisdom, and wisdom becomes the natural expression of compassion. This is how the Dharma flows through us and into the world. So you don't need to remember everything I just said. You don't need to practice perfectly. You don't even need to get all three eyes open every day. If you remember even one eye, even one pause, one moment of awareness, one act of compassion, the whole path is available. Because every moment is genuine seeing conditions all the others. And seeing with the three eyes is not an esoteric practice. It's a practical way to meet your own life with clarity and compassion. Again, the ordinary eye tells us what is happening. The insight eye tells us how it moves, and the wisdom eye tells us what it truly is. So may we learn to see with all three. May we meet our days with clarity, with kindness, and with a spacious heart. And may this vision benefit all beings. And may your week be filled with passion, wisdom, gratefulness, and joy. Thank you. Long life supplication for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you're the source of all happiness and good. All powerful Chinrezi Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. In flower, faith, and praise of Lama Chuck and Mary. Lama of great compassion, with kindness to all, you firmly established the Rimé tradition through skillful means and wisdom. Mary Tenzin Dawa, who is the embodiment of all the Daikinis, with the sun of wisdom and the moon of compassion, you bring love and joy to everyone you meet. Inspired by your example, I vow to cultivate compassion and wisdom from this moment forward and in all my future lives. I will strive to embody the Buddha's teachings in every thought, word, and deed. Dedication of merit. By this merit, may all obtain omniscience, may it defeat enemy wrongdoing. From the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the ocean of samsara, may I free all beings. This merit, may all obtain omniscience, may it defeat enemy wrongdoing. From the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the ocean of samsara, may I free all beings. By this merit, may all obtain omniscience, may it defeat enemy wrongdoing. From the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the ocean of samsara, may I free all beings. And our aspiration prayers. Bodhicitta is precious, may it arise from whom it is not arisen. Once arisen, may it not diminish, but ever grow and flourish. All difficulties, without exception, being pacified with harmonious situations like the treasure of the sky. May the teachings and practice of the Rimé tradition live long and shine brightly. And so again, we are complete. So thank you all so much for joining us. Again, please, before you leave, stop by, get some coffee, grab some treats. Check out the gift shop. We got all kinds of good stuff.